Exciting Doctor Who is on the way, and in celebration of all Whos and their weird encounters, here's John Culshaw with the Who's Who for Whovians in a Doctor Who night for BBC Two.
RTE brings you more compelling stories told with passion and imagination, like the world of Junior Doctors.
I've been working all night and I've only had a few hours sleep.
She's just so tired, you can barely think.
Dog-crazy New Yorkers in Tales from America.
This is our regular yoga practice with our dogs. We call it yoga.
The passion and enthusiasm of Mihalo Murahurti.
30 years of the Grove Disco in Dublin's North Side.
This was like walking into an outtake of Woodstock.
The Pope's Children with David McWilliams.
It's almost impossible to have a conversation in Ireland without the subject of house prices coming up.
Lovely to watch him in action. He would work a room like a politician.
Stories from Ireland's big business in Raging Bulls.
Hidden History traces Ireland's Nazis.
This picture tells me I'm a bystander in Christianity.
And the major crusades facing the Catholic Church in Last Judgment. All part of the new season on RTE1, The Bigger Picture.
In just over 15 minutes, Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes star in a movie adaptation of the famous play about star-crossed lovers. William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet follows the late ITV News, coming up next.
Cheers! Here's to a future without fears, and a retirement that buys all the beers. Oh, cheers.
Here on UTV tomorrow night's Unmissable Drama stars David Jason as a dithery prison tea-boy who's planning a...
So, not long to wait before the Doctor's arrival on BBC One, but what's in store in his new dimension? The build-up begins now as we go behind the scenes of something very special. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. The brand new Doctor Who starts tonight at 7 here on BBC One, but before that, it's hot, it's happening, it's Strictly Dance Fever with Graham Norton next.
I'll leave you.
Doctor Who is next here on BBC One Northern Ireland. Well, time is up. Doomsday has arrived now on BBC One Northern Ireland, but is it goodbye to an English rose?
My name.
And Doctor Who returns to BBC One Northern Ireland with The Runaway Bride at Christmas. If you can't wait until then, head over to BBC Three now and go behind the scenes of tonight's episode with Doctor Who Confidential.
Linda Martin hosts a game of guesswork with a musical twist in the lyrics board at 8. But now all things holy are placed in the firing line in Strumpet City.
It's not the next puddle that worries me at all. It's this one. Aye, this glorified kip of a city.
And we're back in the heart of Strumpet City for more drama at 7 o'clock next Sunday here on RTE1. But now do stay with us for the lyrics board next.
Now, the employers persist in their attempts to break the union in tonight's Strumpet City.
Always watching for low fares? Strumpet City, in association with aerlingus.com. Low fares worth watching.
I am not.
Stay with us for comedy after the break here on One with Fraser.
Sack her.
So how come she thinks you did?
I don't know how you found out where I work, but I am not into a relationship.
Oh, she's having the baby.
You're my colleague, as well as my wife.
It's bottled water.
That's arsenicum. Very high potency.
Cheers.
New RTE drama, The Clinic, next Sunday at 9:25 on RTE1.
Black Hole or Satan's Pit? Find out now on BBC One Northern Ireland in the conclusion of a two-part adventure. The Doctor's confronting a beast. And guess what? He is a wig.
Oh, it's a sanctuary base.
And don't forget Doctor Who Confidential over on BBC Three now. You can find out more about the aliens and enemies encountered by the Doctor in this new BBC book and the second volume of the current series, now available on DVD.
Get adventure.
I am your salvation.
Find me that girl. Don't I know you?
Doctor Who next here on BBC One Northern Ireland. Well, Doctor Who Confidential follows on BBC Three in 45 minutes after Doctor Who himself right now on BBC One. And if you're a fan of the theme music, well, this is the week to watch because I promise for 1 week only to stay quiet and not say a word over the end credits.
Adventure you
In the last 6 days, 3 of your children have been stolen.
Doctor Who next, here on BBC One. More World Cup action later as hot favourites the Argentinians face Mexico live here on BBC One Northern Ireland at 7:45. But right now, all eyes are on London 2012. It's all to play for next here on BBC One as hot favourites Argentina take on Mexico in the World Cup. Stay with us for Match of the Day live. And Doctor Who Confidential's on BBC Three, and get adventure you won't see on TV with the latest TARDIS-ode. Just text TARDIS to 81010 or go to bbc.co.uk/Doctor Who.
Well, British hopes are still riding high with Andy Murray one set up on court at Wimbledon, and BBC Two is live there right now. But here on BBC One Northern Ireland, a change to our lineup. The news is now in 45 minutes. That's after a battle with an old foe for Doctor Who. Behind the scenes with Doctor Who Confidential is over on BBC Three in a moment. Here on BBC One Northern Ireland, the football has meant a few changes. The news is next, and then Sherlock Holmes faces the Hound of the Baskervilles at 8 o'clock. And look away if you don't want to see what happens in next week's gripping series finale of Doctor Who.
Looking for a bit of excitement on Saturday night?
Oh, this is better than Viagra. It's fantastic.
I love you. And I just go, I'll take you home again, Kathleen.
It's a fun-filled mix of entertainment and laughter.
Are you all asleep yet?
She's gone. Gucci cool, who loves your baby, yeah.
Dennis, get a shot of that.
Tuberty Tonight. Tonight at 9:30 on RTE1.
You're not a pro-life party. You're a pro-abortion party.
This Tuesday, Altered State reflects on the rapidly changing Ireland of the last 15 years.
Was contraception ever discussed? Did he ever say?
No.
Scandal after scandal affected the Church's moral authority, culminating in the compensation deal for victims of abuse in state institutions.
In a sense, Michael Woods bought a pig in a poke.
I met those people, and if anybody else met them, they would say, oh my God, what did we do? And that's the reality.
Altered State, Tuesday at 10:15 on RTE1.
Deal is a deal, lads.
You'd think getting a greyhound would be the start of something good. But for these three, it's the beginning of a nightmare.
You owe me. You've got 1 week to pay.
We can hardly get 50 pounds. Never mind 50 grand.
They're bluffing.
The only thing you have to do in this life is die.
But I would rather do that later than sooner.
The midweek movie, Man About Dog, Wednesday at 9:30. The biggest movie premieres first on RTE1.
We look to the skies with a witness to 2 total eclipses in 10 minutes.
This is your life, Eamon Andrew.
He was the first of a new type of performer thrown up by the TV age.
Let's have a word about the fight last night, Cassius. Muhammad, I'm sorry.
A celebrity for reasons he himself could not fathom.
This is your life.
I can't believe this! 30 years at the top of his profession, just an ordinary man in an extraordinary world. Eamon Andrews, this is his life. True Lives returns this Tuesday at 10:10 on RTE1.
It's the world's longest running chat show.
I'm itching to get back.
Don't look at me like that.
And it's what Fridays are all about.
I have nothing to do with Hollywood.
With more guests, more prizes and surprises, it's the perfect start to the weekend.
It's easily as exciting.
The Late Late Show, Fridays 9:30, live only on RTE1.
Radio Telefish Éireann, you're watching RTE1.